Say it again. Ooh, honey. Please say it one more time for me. I don't believe I heard you right. Did you say you love me? We've been friends, real close friends, for a long time. I can tell there's something heavy hanging on your mind. Action speaks louder than words. I can sure you said it right when you said, I love you. Say it again. Ooh, honey. Say it one more time for me. I don't believe I heard you right. Did you say you love me? Say it again and again and again. Before begin. Oh, man, tell me what's on your mind. I just always get to I love you. Say it again. Ooh, honey. Please say it one more time for me. And I don't believe I heard you right. Did you say you love me? Say it again and again and again and again. Woo, let's give it up for Jermaine Stewart, baby. Oh, me, tell me what's on your mind. I can always have the chance to hear those words. I love you. Say it again. Ooh, honey. Please say it one more time for me. And I don't believe I heard you right. Did you say you love me? Did I hear you say you love me? I need to hear you say love me. Say it again. Ooh, honey. Please say it one more time for me. 'Cause I don't believe I heard you right. Did you say you love me? Don't believe I don't believe I heard you right. I don't believe I heard you right. I don't believe you heard believe I heard you right. I don't believe I heard you right. Say it again. Ooh, honey. Please say it one more time for me. 'Cause I don't believe I heard you right. Did you say you love me? No. I don't believe I heard you right. Woo! Yes. Yes, indeed. How is everybody doing on tonight? Woo, it's been a wild, busy week. And, you know, it's Friday. It's that double night Friday. So first let me say, let me go ahead. Thank you for watching over us. Thank you for watching over everyone that's watching. I thank you, Creator, for another day. Because I know that I don't deserve, well, you only know. But I thank you for every breath that you give. I thank you for everything. And I just am asking that you speak through me, whatever it is. And the purpose that this will fall on fertile ground. Amun. Now, so how is everybody doing? I see we're getting closer and closer to that night. You know, a couple more weeks maybe. almost a couple weeks. So I thought about, of course, talking about some of the same things that we're talking about, and I'm going to be going more in history because it's going to be applying, of course, to the main objective, and that will be Black economic development. That's right. And I am going to be speaking on it and really trying to wake up my people, because what people really don't understand is that the ancestors really are speaking. And we talk all of this stuff about building and about growing, and still no one is listening. The power, the real power, is in basically in economic development. So we're not talking about individual growth or growth. We're talking about kind of more even than in industrial. This is big, and we need people of our descent, African, to get on board, because we have been undermined. We was never to know this information. And now that, time is going forward, we have technology, we have teaching, and there's always a way, since economic development really was originally what our ancestors did. It was all they had. And so I'm going to be teaching basically, I had tried to, well, first let me start off saying, we know that economic development falls under the 5 families. I'm going to get that. I want you guys to really let that sink in. It's more than just business economics. It's more than just marketing. So sometimes you who have went to school might have had learned some of these economics, but you did not learn it under the 5 families. And the 5 families will help sustain more than just a community. I'm going to say that over and over until it rings in some heads, because the sad thing is that, we could set up businesses all day long. It's almost like, I know some of y'all have played the game Monopoly. And, when you set something on some property, and then, I ain't played it probably in a long time, since the 80s, honestly. So you gotta bear with me, because my memory's kind of cut short. But from what I remember, you used to can get houses. You could put houses on stuff, some property, paid a little bit more money. Then you can put hotels on something. And then all of a sudden your opponent can be over here. And next thing you know, you're out of it. Because you're going here, you're going to jail, you're going back and forth. Well, I would say economic development is kind of bigger than that, because it'll save you when you have the lifeblood of a government backing its people, with its own politicians, with its own police department, with its own schools, its own private schools, its own hospitals, its own medical facilities. I mean, the list goes on. It's almost like, and we had it before. And the thing about it is, and I have wrote this earlier, our ancestors used it during segregation because we had to. We could not go into their economy, but when they saw we were prospering slowly but surely, with our own economy, we then became a threat to their economy. So they infiltrated the civil rights movement and persuaded the Negroes, that's us, black people, they should fight for integration, and the Negro was bamboozled into thinking integration meant equal. Once Negroes integrated into their economy, economic power went to assist the whites, economically. King realized this and said, "I think I have led my people into a burning house." And then he started preaching economic development. His wife set up a meeting between her husband and Malcolm X. So King and Malcolm X joined. Well, you know the story. So any black talking about economic development is following the legacy of the two, which is saying, well, you can't get more militant than that. You cannot get more militant than that. And so why is it that we're getting militant out here with no backup protection to protect us? And it's good we have, like everyone else, we're just fighting the gun laws and the rights to carry arms and all of that. And I'm not going to go there, but that's good. But you're going to need more than that, as long as we're over here on these shores. So, like I was saying, so I don't understand why our people are scared to death of that, because King and Malcolm were killed for it, and we know Marcus Garvey was. So, when we remember the term used, "you are cowards," many profess to be militant. And yes, the white establishments laugh at us when we talk all day about Ashe, RBG, Black Power, and us talking about our history. But when you get serious and talk about competing with money, his money, well, it takes a special black to go to that route. The King and Malcolm route. When they were killed, our people lots of them were afraid of a real revolution. The revolution of economics, just as Marcus Garvey had said. So, now that we know this, there's going to be a lot to talk about, a lot to be challenged about, and a lot to know who is for real. We got stuff coming up. And boy, I know I'm probably going to lose friends as well as I gain ones, but hey, that is not what I would like to do. I would like us to be on board, and we are going to get our things up and advertised a lot better so you can see it if some of y'all are don't see the bullet points or whatever it is. But so it's a lot to think about, a lot to be challenged about, so I am probably going to talk more about some more things, such as, who do you pledge allegiance to? Do you pledge allegiance to your Greek fraternities? Or shouldn't it be Africa? Shouldn't it be Afro though, bro? Sis? Think about that. Think about that for 1 minute. Now, what are we pledging allegiance to? Okay. So y'all ain't ready for all that. You know, um, it's going to be real. And like I said, if we don't get back in order and go back into this and create an effective program that works for the local economy, the community must understand each level consists of various strategies that can be implemented based on your own geographic, economy and politics. So as I go down, you can read it yourself. I've already gave some of that to you, and I hope you guys do consider showing up at that Salmon and Catfish Festival. The first annual Pacific Northwest African descent. We're going to have a African descent economic people of African descent, economic development summit January through May 2019. We're going to be setting up, it's going to be set up, and we're going to be teaching how to set up regional economic development organizations through the 5 families of economic development. So be there to learn. Also, we have coming up tomorrow is the Washington Renters Power Leadership Assembly. You want to be there. Call this number. It is posted on my page for you who live in the Washington state regions. You want to get a hold of the Tenants Union. I will actually be moderating for this, so I will be cutting off shortly to get some good sleep. We also will have Spanish interpreters there for those who speak Spanish. And again, I will be there. And I may be speaking. I was requested to speak. And I did turn it down only because I didn't realize, at that time. But I realized how important it is to keep telling my story. And not telling my story, but telling a story of 70 black families that were kicked out of a place called Renton Wood. Well, attempted, but there were many that were kicked out until we decided to stand up, organize, and stop it. And through all of that, it took time. I had to learn about legislation, learn about tenant rights, and learn about how to get these bills to go up and testify and speak to these lawmakers to get these bills passed. And fortunately, we worked real hard. Everyone put in for their position. We had our underground workers. We had our lobbyists backing us. And we winded up passing HB 2578 and SB 5407. Just check those bills out in the state of Washington. And see, we had them signed in right with the governor. The ban on income discrimination, yes. But we're not done, because now that is why we have that tomorrow, so that people can come together and we can combat these other laws concerning rent and concerning wrongful evictions. How to stand up and fight. And in rent control, we are fighting to get these laws passed. Also, vote on Initiative 940. Yes. If you are in Washington State, you need to vote yes. And what this bill does is help officers become accountable in what they do. Wrongful shootings. And also they will need training. Real training. They can't just come on hiring anybody and they shoot to kill. We have to hold them accountable, and that is pretty much what that bill is. And shouts out to those at Not This Time who worked very hard. They worked tirelessly to even get this initiated into the state of Washington. So I wanted to get that out there. And so, yes, so I got some things coming up, and I'm going to challenge a lot of you throughout the timing. We're going to talk about the 1699 Virginia State Constitution, the Casual Killing Acts, the original Justified by Homicide. We'll be talking about, again, why African American fraternities pledge allegiance to the Greeks when it should be African, bro, sis. And the New Deal, its implication on politics in Black America, what is a scam? And last but not least, who are the boule in your community? Voodoo. We will talk about that. We are going to talk about a lot of things. See, what a lot of Christians do not know is that a lot of that religion that you are worshiping, praying to, and doing had already came from Voodoo. It came from Haiti. So maybe you did not do proper research, but I would like to challenge some of you sometime. Really, if you knew if it came from, just questions. You know, I'm not saying that this is facts yet, but if you knew any religion that you practice, and I'm not going to talk about spirit, because if you want to talk about spirit, then we really are going back to African, Haitian, or versus Catholicism, the Vatican, and all the others that came from. See, you can only, if you can choose any side you want, but the truth behind it is, we know it came from somewhere. You can't just, okay, you could say it came from God, but what God? The Creator? Where did Jesus Christ come from? Yes, I'm asking you. And how long? I'm not saying you don't need to not believe it. I'm just asking you, Crystal, the word Christian, Crystal, study all of that stuff and really, really Christ, study it real close and think about it. Now, if you had a choice between Wicca history and Africa history, what would you really choose? Because, like I said, I will be going further into that. You know what had happened over there in before they were brought over. You can call them pilgrims, whatever. And religion was set up in all of the colonies. Y'all know that by now. Come on. And I'm not telling you not to believe anything. I'm just saying research. Research yourself. and figure out what it is you are really praying to before you get upset at anybody else at what they do and start tripping. Understand that I'm not knocking it, because as long as something comes from history of your roots, fine. But if it is tainted with something else, like for instance, hollow, y'all always saying hallelujah. We know Halloween is coming up. You call stuff saints' days, and we know the original meaning of the saints' days Eve. But who were these saints? Who were the hollow? Why was the black told in darkness was told to be so wicked and evil, just like it was considered our people being black, we were considered the bad people. But whatever was bright and white and had the light was always better. Think about that. Now, I know there's a difference between the lightness and darkness in spirit, but go back. Who were these spirits? Now, we're going to be talking about that, and you guys are welcome to watch my videos, and some of y'all are welcome to deuces, because I'm not putting a gun to your head forcing you to watch me. And I know there's a lot of jibber jabber out there. I'm talking about y'all in my state. Now, all of you guys who are my friends that came on and friended me and backed me up and loved me like a family, all I wanted to say is mad love to y'all. I can't get to y'all all the time because, believe it or not, even with my light on, I do have a schedule. You won't believe what I was doing yesterday and my light was on. I not only had a few places I was at, I actually was killing time, had to be back home. I was over a conference phone, a board meeting, and had to be, I was actually had time to get on a radio show and still promote Black economic development, because a lot of people are are pouring in and want to know about this. So I had a good, excellent day, and I love staying busy, but I really don't have time because I'm working online, offline. People be thinking I'm because you see a green light that I'm available to just chat when I'm not. I got a busy schedule all day tomorrow, and maybe Sunday too. But that Sunday won't be all day. Just think about that, and I like it. I like it. Even being a mother, taking the time out, not stretching yourself thin. And toodaloo to all of you out there that are doing community work, putting your foot in and, getting your hands dirty. Toodaloo. I just want to say shots out, So we got a lot coming up. Oh, and we got one last one. Why is there so much hatred? I'll leave. Ooh. Why is there hatred for the Creole red bone woman? Now, I didn't know what a red bone was. I seriously didn't. I would hear it from time to time, and my instructor filled me in a little bit about it, and I did go to Google, learn a little bit about it, but I didn't know what it was. I still don't know, but it's in my notes, and I'm going to be, as I'm taught in class, I will deliver to you because I'm a student. So I like being groomed in this world of Black economic. I loves it. So I'm going to come back maybe in 5 minutes with a new video. This is just to, fill in where I said, when I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. But I want y'all to get real serious about this Black economic development, because if we don't, we are going to be a doomed world of people. They are trying to kick us out. I told y'all that over and there. And some people believe because they got a business or some kind of huge organization that's going to stretch out, if these developers come over here from other parts of the, let's just say it could be the country, other parts of the states, and they continue to buy in like they did that time when we had the voters thing going on, and they were sitting back waiting to take our neighborhoods. Well, just as stuff floats in, stuff's gonna float out. And we can get this stuff done if we get on the ball and do it and learn so that we lock this stuff, secure it, govern it, and no one else will be able to come and infiltrate the 5 families. Now they can infiltrate too anytime because they're doing that right now. Businesses are getting knocked out. That's why so many buildings are falling on top of each other downtown, in all of them downtown areas. And they are slowly just trying to wash your businesses up off of the property that's bought. So if the property's bought, and like I said before, Powell, here's one building, they are going to want their neighborhoods of their own people. We'll just take Columbia City for an example. Y'all ain't going to like what I got to say, but I'm going to go there and go ahead and say it. In my opinion, it just don't make no sense for when we had all them strips, them bars going, I'm talking about nightclubs and everything, restaurants going up and down the city. The economy wasn't too bad for black folks, you know, during the Clinton years or whatever you want to say it. But for now, it's just crazy that you go over there. I mean, there was a time when no one came through those neighborhoods. And you go over there now, and oh man, it just doesn't make no sense for us to have one thing going on, such as the Esquire, and stuff being poured into that, but all around, it's nothing. It's like bought up. And y'all better be careful moving. I mean, you know, thinking that you can hang over there and not get bumped over. Now, it's pretty good liberal community, just like what's being bought over in the Central District with the, you know, the bikers, everybody, you know, and a lot of them sympathize with our people, but our people are gone. Houses are sold, just like what happened in Spokane, on that block where my grandmother lived in the valley. Nice area. Developers just came, and what happened? You know what that is that's happening? What I'm basically talking about is called economic development. Theirs came and destroyed. So property was bought everywhere. And pretty much when property is bought, it's like now they took it over. But we didn't know anything about fighting back. All we knew how to do is what? Take a little bit of money, have a little organization or business over here or over there, and just continue to let them just drop things on us, where they're eventually only going to let us stay somewhere, maybe another, I would give it probably a couple years before they want to take it all. And it's sad, because that is exactly what they're going to do. Because when it becomes a neighborhood such as Bellevue, Kirkland, and its people put their money investing in that for their interests, that's all they're going to want. They are not going to want to see anything black, period. This is just what it is. Now, if you studied economic development under the 5 families, you would know that already. But it's impossible to know it. So I'm going to be teaching more But it's really dangerous. It's real. This thing here is deep, but it challenges your mind, almost like a game of chess. And the more you pour into it, the more you're like, boom, wow. You just see everything around you like, wow. You know, so I think it was meant that it was in the will of our ancestors that all of us know it. Our children know it. So that we can continue the lifeline. Just like the movie Roots. Why will we continue killing off? Selling gentrification is just like no different than what happened to Kunta Kinte in the movie Roots. When he got kidnapped, sold into slavery, and died, never seeing his freedom. It had to go down generation to generation before we finally seen a little freedom. Y'all know what I mean by a little, because it's a little. You think because you own this, that, and another. No, that just means you're bigger at being a consumer. You're just a big consumer. You're a big buyer. Yes, you are. Because you should know how to invest into something that can invest completely back into you and multiply more than that. My goal in my life is to become a developer in the future, because I'm already learning it. I'm going to know, and I will be the one teaching some of y'all at affordable. I'm not going to be the person that you got to call in Bellevue or Kirkland, who y'all are going to believe to come and teach you and charge you, God knows what, when we are trying to teach our people. So I would advise y'all to get on www.realworldeda.com. I'm going to repeat it like it's a broken radio for the rest, probably, of my life. The rest of my time until y'all get it. However long it takes. Because to sit there and just let it go and people to undermine it and not listen is almost like watching a million more Kunta Kintes go off and die and never come home. Now you feel me when I say that, because it's real. It is exactly what's going on, just in another form. And it should hurt you. It really should. That some just don't want to fix it. Fix something that's broken in our community. We need to have a community in order to, so I will come back, because I'm not done. See you in a minute for part 2.